RFQs on request for proposals. They're due back the 19th from the engineering services, so I'm gonna have a quick turnaround to get them to you guys. And hopefully you can get them back to me within a week for the scoring again for this one project. So it'll only be a couple to score this time for this one project, so I can get the engineering service hired in the beginning of February. So I can get design done in 2023, and we'll go out for bids this fall to have that road redone out there. Division updates. Currently, we are out right now for RFPs for the skid steer and pecan head. We opened those bids January 19th. The DD Kennedy Walking Bridge project replacement, we opened that one up on February 1st. The Justice Center roof, we opened up on December 21st. We had 4 bids. Low bid is 2.4 million, and that was from Jackson and Associates. They are the company that did the roof on the highway facility. So we're just waiting for DOA to approve that, to award that bid. So we're waiting for that process, and then we're ready to go for that. I am turning in a memorial resolution to the WCHA honors luncheon for Larry Jepson. So if you're down there at conference, that'll be presented for Larry's service to the county as county board chair and sitting on the highway committee.
When is that?
What's that?
When is that conference?
The January 23rd, week of the 23rd.
Okay.
The WCHA has offered the new director position to Patrick Vander, formerly a WisDOT employee, to replace Dan Federley. So that is in the motions there. So we'll have a new face on the organization. And the association is working on position papers for the 2023 legislative session. Those will be probably announced at conference down at the Dells. The operations manager, as you know, Josh is leaving and going up to Burnett County. I have interviews tomorrow with 3 candidates for that position. And currently a foreman position is open, posted right now for the outside on that. With that, we had some movement in the division. Tim Winky, that was in highway, went to parks, is now back in highway. With our 2 new hires, we are currently full at the maintenance worker level. One of those maintenance workers though is replacing Tim in parks. So we're just playing a little swap game though. So we'll have another hire going there. But that's right now the latest going on in the division.
What was
Dr. Moe, how many acres do we own at the Woodley Dam site?
At the top of my head, I think it's around 7.5.
Okay. Thank you.
What was the name of the new director?
Patrick Vander. He did local programs and STP for WisDOT.
Okay. Any questions for Mo? Thanks, Mo.
All right, thank you.
Here, or we got the administrator on board yet, or?
He does it.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. You want to go ahead with your report?
Sure, I'll give a quick one here. Hope you're all doing well. First of all, I just saw Mo up there and I just want to say hats off to the highway department, Mo and his crew, and as well as the deputies. I know the week before New Year's was tough and I heard nothing but good complaints. I know there's always issues and challenges, but I know they were tired and working a lot of hours and they deserve a little pat on the back. So great job by them. The other thing, I mentioned this last month, but it keeps coming up and I just thought we did a little more digging. I asked Mo to look into what it would cost to get the old jail, that's the old one next to the government building, up to usable condition for people or groups or whatever. And just a ballpark figure, if anybody says, hey, that building's sitting there and is empty, we'd like to use it. Just keep in mind, it's going to cost us in the $2 million range to get that up and functional for a group to use. Mo did had some people look at some numbers and everything from windows to electricity to upgrading the kitchen to make it usable, the roof, all those things. So I only say it because certainly it's there to use, but if we wanted to get a group in there let's say a 503c3 or whatever, 501c3, it is going to take quite an investment of taxpayer money to get that place up and usable. The only other thing I had was, I think you may have seen the email today, the Tourism Council is looking for a new or two board members. So if you have folks in your districts who might be good candidates, feel free to pass those on to Sharon or myself. That's all I have, unless you have some questions.
Any questions?
I often wonder, I never heard the term good complaint, but I was wondering what a good one sounds like.
I'm sorry, I missed that. A good what?
Well, you said you had nothing but good complaints. I'm wondering what a good complaint sounds like.
I'm sorry. Good comments, I meant to say maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there were a complaint or two. There always are, but I was impressed. I drove town right before New Year's last, week, and the difference between Polk County and other counties I thought was noticeable. I thought Mo and his crew did a great job.
Good to hear.
Okay, Vince.
Sure
thanks.
did.
Thank you, Vince.
Hey, nice room, by the way.
Yeah, it's roomy. Okay, now we'll get on to the sheriff's report.
Well, Happy New Year. I had the honor this morning at 8:30 of taking my oath of office in front of Judge Anderson. So you're stuck with me for 4 more years. It's kind of shocking to me because it seems like yesterday I stood there 4 years ago. So the first 4 years have just flown by for me. I don't know if it's felt that way for you guys, but I know there's challenging times ahead. This is certainly stepping into the fire. Anybody who's willing to do a public service job at this time in our nation's history, I think is a challenging time, but I look forward to the challenge and I'm up for it. One positive, and understand with this number, if you've lost somebody in a traffic fatality, numbers mean nothing. It's a total travesty. But we did have 5 fatals this last year, which is one of our lowest years that I can ever recall at the sheriff's office. And 2 of those fatals were motorcycle fatals. So if you slice it down to automobile fatals, we had 3. That's remarkable. I hope we can carry that momentum of low. I mean, I'd love to see 0 fatalities, but we're very fortunate to have a low number for once. The New Year's is off to a tough start. We had an overdose death yesterday in the Village of Dresser. So we're seeing potential fentanyl death already in our county, and we're 3 days into the new year. Today, my drug task force was out, and I can't get into specifics, but we believe we uncovered a lab today in Polk County. So that's troubling. That's something we haven't seen in years. So that is something that is still out there. As I go forward in this term, some of my focuses will be obviously staffing concerns. I'm always trying to fill positions and we try really hard, but it is tough to stay full staff, but we're getting there. We also had a bad year with suicides last year. So one of the focuses will be for me to work on mental health solutions as well. And that's an all hands on deck. And that's all interwoven with substance abuse. But I look forward to working with all the local partnerships in Polk County to try to get a handle on some of this mental health crisis. That's a root cause of a lot of bad things in our county, in our community. So with that, I'm going to have Chief Deputy Don Burrows come up and talk about a couple of the grant items on our list. So just to give you
Sheriff Walk, what was our suicide number?
I believe it was 13, but I'm going to have to check with Corby from mental health.
That's all right. Thank you.
Yeah, I know we were at 12 a while back, but keep in mind in 2019 we had 4, 2020 we had 7, 2021 we had 7, and now we jumped up to double digits. So that's certainly alarming. You would have thought we would have saw higher numbers during the COVID time because that was a lot of uncertainty for people. But the year following this is 22 has been the highest year we've had in quite some time. So that's concerning.
All right. On a more positive note, talk about some of the grants. PSAP group or PSAP grant. That's our 911 enhancement grant we put in for last year. We're awarded to it. There is a match to it. We believe our out-of-pocket cost is going to be about 164 plus another 30,000 for a GIS upgrade. So we're going to be asking in March for around 200,000 so we can get this project done. It's about a $450,000 project. This enhances our 911, or it's dated 911 equipment. So it incorporates a lot more technology like text to 911, video 911, all these things that everywhere else is going to, and we're kind of behind a little bit on it. COVID grant I got on here, I just got notified today that we did not get those COVID funds. So that COVID, it was just $20,000 extra money grant that they put out there. But since we got 2 other COVID grants the last 2 years, we didn't get this one. Summit Foods, they came back and hit us up for a price increase back in November, right after the budget was approved. We're in negotiations with them currently about what their increase is. So we may be asking for adjustments there. Justice Security Cameras, since Parmere Security Firm is unable to really give us adequate security guards. They've been able to give us 1 security guard. They can't seem to find anybody else to work. I asked to get some money moves that we're buying some security cameras for our building and parking lots to kind of enhance our security there a little bit. RFPs, we're going to put out the RFP soon for the tower generators and then the command posts where I'm working with Karsten Peterson downstairs. He's doing a CAD drawing of the command post. We're going to come up with our CAD drawing, send it out for RFP for bids to see what we can come up with to get the command post renovated. And that's about all. Any questions?
Don, in our emergency staff there, we got a lot of overtime there. Are we short on the 911 emergency staff?
So currently we have 3 people in training, 3 new people. We're definitely could use more help in our dispatch, especially with some of these projects we have coming up. We have the PSAP grant for 911. We have still the microwave tower going on. And there's going to be a software upgrade in our records management system as well. There are 3 big projects coming up this spring and summer.
Yeah, I hope we can get an adequate staff there.
Any other?
Any other question?
I don't have a question, but not only as a supervisor, but as a citizen of Polk County, I would just like to thank the sheriff for 4 more years and what a nice job he does. So I think we all should be very thank you.
Yeah. We all share that sound. Okay,
Thanks, Sheriff Walk
thank you.
and the staff.
Supervisor Rowdy, an update on Polk County ATV, UTV.
Yeah, I have a couple things that were discussed today. One, I guess, I did understand this. I understand it because I saw a plow truck stuck in the mud like a week ago, but the snow is bad because it's not completely frozen. And the only machines that are really working, I think Danny Carlson told me today, was the track machines. And up in Bernard County, they're having even a harder problem because they don't have enough tracks and they can't run tired ones, regular tires, they're not tired. So that's one of the big issues that they're facing, and how many times they've had to groom, which is a good thing for the clubs, except for the hours that they spend. They said some of them haven't shut down and close to what did you say, Mel? In a week you were working? It's pretty much steady.
When we got the track machine, we worked straight 4 whole days. We were on all the time.
Yeah. So the other thing they talked about a lot of things in the but they talked about road funding looking ahead. And that's partly out in the Sterling area because some of those roads can be groomed and then they could gain a number of miles to bring in more funding for the clubs. But they have to put in the time. I think what you say is $300 a mile if they can get it 13 miles opened up, which is a big area. So that's really all I have is, and then, well, they have a lot of maintenance that needs to be done, but they're looking ahead to next summer. Mike from Park said that they will have to wait till spring until they can look at some of these projects and will be involved. So that's in the future.
Yeah. Any questions for Doug? Update from CJCC.
So in December, we've still been without a treatment court case manager, but we do have 10 applicants. All of them have been scored now and 3 are eligible for interviews. So I'm just waiting to hear from HR when we're going to start that. In treatment court, we had 3 graduations in December, 1 new referral and 1 new individual started. So we ended the month with 9 participants, and then we have another one that should be starting soon. First time offender program, we had 3 participants, 2 new referrals and 1 termination. For the intoxicated driver intervention program, we had 12 participants, 1 referral and 1 termination. In our substance diversion program, we had a tough time getting that off the ground, but in December we had 3 participants and 1 new referral. In December, our pretrial screens, we did 25 screens and 40% of those individuals were high risk. So that would be individuals, if we did pretrial supervision, that we would recommend having probably weekly or bi-weekly contact with a case manager. Does anyone have any questions?
Pretty active month.
Yeah, it was an active month.
Hearing none others, thank you very much. On to review and update the work plan. I don't think we have anything to change there. Or subject matters for the next meeting. Well, you sent me that address thing, Court. Is that something that's coming up on?
It's in February. It's listed on your work plan.
Okay,
What was that?
that address,
Public hearing on the rural addressing changes.
Oh. Well,
one of those fun
Good luck.
things. Okay,
it's been going pretty smooth, actually, basically. Considering,
It was smooth last time.
pardon?
Went real smooth last time.
Yeah, that was part of the smooth, was up in your area up there. And that's surprising because when they change your address, it consists of quite a bit of change in your life for a while, you know, as far as things automatically coming in, driver's licenses, and all kinds of things change. But it's surprisingly, it's going good.
all right, well, then I guess we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Topic for.
Second it.
Topic for future agenda, we're working on a resolution, and I don't know, it might skip over this committee and go directly to the county board because it's a pretty straightforward lobbying resolution, but it has to do with asking the state legislature and the governor to look at the starting pay for assistant district attorneys. Most assistant district attorneys make less than their support staff. And so it's hard to attract, recruit, and retain quality prosecutors. And a lot of counties are doing this. So it might come to next committee meeting, or it might go straight to county board. I'm not sure, but it might be. Carry on.
Okay.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.